Howdy, you are watching Jane Nicole Designs. My name is Eileen. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, grab your cup of coffee, and come along with me. First store, and I went online and researched because, you know, sometimes when you get things like this, people are like, it's a family heirloom, or oh, it's super expensive and whatnot. It is C and Company. This is what this one is called. And I went online, I went on eBay, I looked all over the place, didn't find this exact one. And if you could see, it is pretty banged up and things like that. There's stuff that's missing and whatnot. So if this is your family heirloom, I'm super sorry, but I am going to upcycle it. So we're going to be doing that today. And then we're going to be using a little bit of fun fashion. We're going to be using a hoop today and a piece of wood. So let me know, what do you think the 2022, one of the biggest fashions that's going to come out? And it may surprise you. It surprised me, but let me know your suggestions in the comment of what you think it would be. So let me give you a hint. So I went online and I was like, okay, what are we going to be doing for Christmas? This is my last week for Christmas in July. I've been doing, you can see the traditional red and kind of gold and green, and I thought, well, you know what? Let's see what happens. I went online, and I think it was more like the UK kind of thing, but fashion trends and things like that for Christmas. And this person was showing all the exciting new, what will be out in the stores and things like that. And I thought, well, let me see. Do I have anything now that I have in my stash to be able to do this? Because I didn't want to go out. You know me. I don't want to go out and buy something. I have enough stuff already in my craft supply. So I went looking. And so what it is, the new 2022 fabulous color that's supposed to be coming out is pink. I was surprised. Pink. So I bought these last year. Good morning, Renee. I bought these last year and I thought, well, I'll just get them. I had no idea. I don't have any pink decor. I usually have farmhouse, buffalo check. You know, that's me. Good morning, Renee. It's totally what's going on. So I thought, okay, I may be decorating this only in my craft room, but I wanted to see what I could make with pink. So today what we're going to do is kind of a little mini tablescape. I'm going to use this tray. We're going to use this hoop and a piece of wood, and we're going to make something that is up and coming. I was super surprised when I saw it, and I thought, you know what? We're going to try it and see it. So I got some new things that we've kind of done a little bit, but think along the pink theme. I mean, almost like the Pink Ladies kind of thing. I was like, okay, I think I could do this. So what we're going to use today is, this is Waverly, and it is ballet slippers. Oh, sorry, it's backwards. Flip it around, take a screenshot, and you should, you know, I got this at Walmart. You can get it at Hobby Lobby, all, you know, your typical crafting store. So go ahead and I'm going to just tip it back and forth a couple times. I don't want a bunch of bubbles in it, but I do want to make sure that it is, see, it's a little paste almost like, so I want to make sure that it is shook up a little bit. So today I want my brush to be, I'm trying to find it here. I want my brush to be a little soft. I don't want something that's about like bristly and coarse. This is when I paint chalk paint that I want it just, I don't want it flat. But because of this, I'm going to make sure that I have just a little bit of more of like a flat, kind of like a flat brush. And it looks like my, I'm looking around, sorry, my baby wipes have left my area. That means either myself or a family member had to clean something. So I'm going to use my paper towel today, but I am just going to go ahead and I'm going to pour a little bit right here. I usually use tin can tops if I need to. I just want to make sure if you have this right here, it's pretty full. It's close to the top, so I might even just use it right out of the jug. But let me know if you have done this before. This is chalk, and I did clean it up. You can either use just soap and water or a baby wipe. You can do that. But see how the detail in it? Oh, Christine, good morning. My sisters are on with me. Awesome, I'm so glad. I kind of thought about this, Christine, because I know you're pink baby and you like pink. And so, like I said, the new 2022 color for Christmas is pink. So I decided, you know what? Last week was Renee in the rocks and today is Christine in pink. So we'll see how this goes. I just wanted to go ahead and make sure that I just may only do one coat for this because I don't want in the middle here, because I don't want all these beautiful markings to go away. So Amy, how do I clean my brushes? Well, I have two different types of brush kind of methods here. These right here are my wax brushes. So if I do antique wax and whatnot, I don't clean those at all. I make sure that I have a clear, and then this is the antique. And then if I have different colors, like the luminous ones, I use something like this. You can just take a paper towel, just swirl it around, and that's how I do that. My brushes, I have, and it looks pretty icky, but I have just a jar, and then I put it in water, and then I do it every time. I want to make sure that I don't ruin my brushes before their time is due. But I'm going to keep going because we want to make sure that we get everything done today. I wash it out with soap and water, and I let it sit in the little jar there for a few hours or whatnot. But I do use not necessarily dish soap. I have hand soap that I use to make sure that it gets off each brush. If I'm going to be using acrylic paint, I definitely want to make sure that I wrap it in a baby wipe for a while, and then I wash it off with the soap and water. Just because you want to make sure your brushes are your tools, right? So you want to make sure that those are working in good order. So making sure that all the paint is out of them. You don't want to paint with, I do a lot of red, and I make sure that red is out of my brushes before I move on to the next one. So I am just going to go in just kind of back and forth fashion. I just want to make sure that I get in all these little tiny nooks and crannies. That's one thing about these plates. They are so beautiful. And you want to make sure that you get in each little divot so that when you're putting any type of finish on it, that it will stay and not chip off. What you don't want to do is have a bunch of globs. So make sure that when you get in all these little nooks and crannies that you go back and brush over and make sure that you don't have too much paint on it, because then it won't dry properly. Some parts will dry, some parts will stay wet, and then when you're putting any type of wax or anything on it, it will not work as well. So like I said, if you're just hopping on, let me know where you're watching from. If the little red live button is on there, that means they're on replay. And so go ahead and put hashtag replay. That just lets me know when and where you're watching from. Let me know, how was your weekend? Did you get to hang out in the sunshine? Or most of the country is pretty much, I was looking at a map yesterday, and pretty much the country, at least the United States, at least was in yellow or red, that it had some pretty good heat going on. So I think we finally, on the east side here of Idaho, we finally got our summer. Okay, so I am not going to do the bottom right now. I'm going to just go right over to the side. Make sure that you get all, like I said, I'm going to put my glasses on here so I can see. Make sure that I get every little nook and cranny. I don't want to have anything that's silver for right now. But go ahead and just move it around in the sun and make sure that you have all those little filigrees and things like that covered up. We are going to put some luminous metal luster on it, so it will cover up some of the if you miss some spots and things like that. But for the most part, I want to make sure that all these little pieces here, we are going to do something to the foots, the 3 feet here. They have little pedestals, so we're going to do something a little bit different with that. Okay, so now that I've got most of it looking kind of like what I'd like it to be, and I'm going to look around the edges to make sure that that is all. I think so. I'm going to make up my mind right now. I'm just going to paint these. We're gonna make it all pink, I think. Yeah, they paint up really nice. All right. Sorry, I'm kind of doing this with, you can kind of see it, but I want to make sure that these little spots in here, that we don't have any silver shining through. And like I said, if I want to, I may go back. You know me, I always, after I'm done live, I always kind of futz around with my stuff. So I may go back and just paint the underneath. I'm not sure yet, but most of the time you don't really see that. So, okay, so we got the feet. Yep. Oh, one more little spot here. But like I said, you just kind of have to play with it a little bit. There's a little drip. I don't want that. Let me know if you've done this before. Have you found a tray or a plate, or right now some of the teapots, people are painting the silver teapots. I know that's like, some people cringe, but that's one of the little trends that are going on right now, that you take these, and I would not eat off of this because chalk paint, it's not really meant to eat off of, but I do have, what I do when that happens is I have little white or clear plates that I put right on top so that you can still use it for food, but just not setting, you know, an actual piece of food on top of the paint. Even if you seal it, I kind of, yeah, I don't want to do anything like that to make somebody sick after I've, you know, done something to it. So, okay, so this is done. I'm going to set this off to the side, and we are going to let it cool, or not cool, but dry a little bit. But I want to make sure, sorry, hands are full of paint. I wanted to paint our other piece. So we're kind of going to go back and forth today. So this is just a like 5 by, I think it's like 10, something like that. And I got this online. A gal was selling a bucket of pieces of wood, and I went and bought it, and I was like, you know what, we'll see what we get. And I got some really, really fun stuff. Hold on, I have sparkles and stuff all over my glasses today. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take the same paint, same Waverly ballet slippers, going on the pink theme, and I'm going to just go back and forth and paint this. This right here, you can do a couple coats, but I am just going to paint the top only. So I want to make sure when I do this that I don't go back this way and gum up there or put a bunch of paint at the end. So I just want to go out to the ends really softly so that it doesn't put the paint over the sides. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of the boho style where it's natural woods, and I'm combining it with the 2022 exciting pink trend. So like I said, I'm just going to go on along the top here. because I do want that natural wood to show because of the hoop that we're going to be using. I want to make sure that it doesn't have a bunch of pink down the side. There we go. And that's just kind of how you do it. It's not super easy. It's not too hard. And you can use whatever size of wood you want. I just picked this out of the pile. It's not really anything precise. It was just a piece of wood that came in. You know, if you have a wood project that you have extra pieces, I always save them. I have a big box out in my shed that has all the odds and ends of home projects that we've done, and I'm like, honey, don't throw them away. Make sure that we can still keep them. Okay. So there we go. I just wanted to make sure that our paint is drying. All right. And like I said, I usually just I just have water. I'm gonna put some water in my little jar, and then I'm just gonna let that sit in there while the rest of the time that we're gonna be crafting. So what I do, I have two ways that I dry my stuff. Today I'm gonna use my heat tool. This just makes it a little bit warmer. I use it at the beginning for more like stamping stuff, but the hairdryer is super loud, and so I want to be able to talk and dry things at the same time. So this chalk paint, it dries pretty quick. So you've seen it. I've used it on metal and I've used it on wood, and it does a great job. So let me show you real quick. See, you can actually see the different spots where it's wet, and then right here it's dry right there. So like I said, I just kind of, for time's sake, and the best thing, make sure when you're doing crafting that you get some type of a trivet, something that you can move around, twirl around. It's much easier when you do projects like this. Alrighty, so this one is pretty dry. So I'm going to set it off to the side, and we're just going to let that dry for a little bit. And we're going to move on over to our silver plate here. And I want to dry this as well. So this one here, you'll be able to see it. It's going to start getting warm, so be careful. Sometimes I burn myself with because this gets really hot. But you see how it just starts to get, the chalk paint starts to get opaque? And then you know for sure that that is dry. And you can do 2 coats with this, but I think this one here, I really like the idea of it not being too thick. And so actually I'm just going to do 1 coat. So in the comments, let me know, are you already planning for Christmas? Do you have some crafts that you're already doing? And what is your theme? Are you going to do traditional gold and red and green? Are you going to do farmhouse, buffalo check, white, silver? Let me know. Or if you haven't thought of it, just put, oops, I don't know yet. But I've already gone to, all the shelves were cleared where the Christmas stuff is going, and they put 1 poinsettia in each little box, just to let you know that the Christmas stuff is coming. And I love that. I thought that was super, I'm like, okay, we haven't even got to Thanksgiving or even Halloween, but I know that they want Christmas stuff out. So, and for me, I don't know about you guys, but when stuff comes around my area, I've got to buy it because it's gone. So I may be just making a trip to Hobby Lobby to go get my Christmas stuff very soon. Okay. So you can see it's getting there. I want to make sure that these little filigrees and things like that are definitely dry. Excuse me. Okay. All right. The loud stuff is over for at least a little bit. And it is a little bit warm, so I'm going to let it hang out. And unfortunately, this kind of just fits with one of these or kind of up on one of the edges. So it is going to look a little bit lopsided, but I think we should be okay. If everybody can see, give me a thumbs up, right? Good morning, Jeff. I'm glad you're watching this morning. I woke up this morning. Jeff went fishing already, came back, had coffee. Oh, it was so nice. Sitting in our front room, just sipping coffee. It was awesome. So, all right. Now, we want to make sure that everything is dry, and I've kind of tested to make sure everything's good. Here is the fun part. There's several different ways that you could do this. There is rub and buff. There is all sorts of paints and things like that. This is Waverly. This is silver. This is called liquid gold leaf. You could paint different things on here. But for me, I have really shaky hands. I'm not very precise at doing things like that. So I go for the quick, easier, I guess you would say, way to do this. And this is Deco Art, and this is called Metallic Luster. I have it in several different colors. This is almost like a white frost. This one here is called Black Shimmer, and I'll open them up for you because I think they're absolutely beautiful. I got them at Hobby Lobby, and this one's almost like a chrome. I love that one. This one here is the White Frost, and do you see it's just a paste, and you can actually take water and refresh it if it gets too dry. So these are awesome. I love that you can, and they go a long way. This one today that we're going to be using, this is rose gold. So, and this one, look at it, almost looks like mousse or something like that. So we're going to take this, and I have a little paper towel here. I'm just going to put off to the side. Just make sure that it is a clean one. So I'll make sure my surface area. And I'm take my ring off here. I don't want to get it full of stuff. But I'm just going to take this, just dab it with my finger. And then if you want to test it out, go ahead. See that right there? Isn't that awesome? Okay. Are you ready? All I'm going to do, let's make sure that it's not too chunky. There we go. All I'm going to do is just take my finger, rub down the sides where I want a little bit of shimmer to happen. So you don't have to get into the nooks and crannies. I'm just taking my finger and rubbing it across each of the little filigrees where I want a little bit of shimmer. If I wanted to, I could take the white, and the white would be really or gold would be really evident. It would show up a lot, but I just want a little bit of shimmer. Just want a little bit of that shimmer to go down. Isn't that cool? So let's make sure I get off on the side here. If you want to, you could take the bristle brushes that I have and go inside the filigrees and go down into the nooks and crannies. Thanks, Amy. I know, isn't this fun? I was like, okay, I'm not usually too shimmery girly kind of thing. I like stuff sparkly, but I think this is so pretty. And with the pink trend happening this year, I really like it. So you can decide how much you want on there. And that's the cool part about this. If you want a lot or a little, it is up to you. Here's a tip. If you don't want, let's say you end up putting too much in one spot, just take a baby wipe or a wet washcloth and just go over it really quick. It's almost like the eraser kind of thing to this luster. So if I put something that was too much on there and I wanted to remove some of it, just go ahead and either, like I said, I've used a baby wipe and it comes off super easy, and that goes for all of the colors that I've used, even the black chrome. It works really well. But I just want to make sure that I get all those little pieces where I want it. And do you see I'm going the same way? I'm not going this way. I'm just going the same way on the whole project here. And like I said, you could do all of the little filigree, all the little etching and things like that. It's up to you what you would like to do. And that's the one thing about this project that I love. It's so customizable that you can do a little or a lot. And see how that is? Isn't that beautiful? It just brings that little sparkly touch. And so what I'm going to do is this will dry, and I'm going to take a sealer, and I will show you the sealer just a second here. Let me finish the feet, because I think I've got it where enough that I want it. I don't want it too overwhelmingly sparkly. I know you can't have enough sparkles, but sometimes less is best. There we go. Make sure that all my little scallops, I got a little scallops here and there. And it is a little bit tacky, it dries a little bit, so then you'll know. Just want to make sure where I want it. Okay. Okay, so we're done for now. We're just gonna let this dry. Isn't that super cute? And it'll catch the sun, and it'll give you just a little sparkle here and there. I think that's beautiful to be able to leave it like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna let that dry, and like I said, I'm gonna seal it, and I'll show you this one here. This is called Hello Hobby. This is a varnish, and it's matte. And basically what you do is you just apply a thin with a bristle brush, and then while you're waiting and things like that, you can put a little bit of heat on it, and it will take in the bubbles and things like that. You want to just wait and let them just bubble up on their own. But take a little bit of heat a couple hours after that, then you can dry it in between. It says to wait 3 hours in between each coat. So I usually just do one coat and then wait till the next day or something like that, and then put another coat on if it looks like you've missed a few spots or something like that. So that is how I do the process on, let me get some water here, how I do the process on any type of silver, things like that. So make sure it's clean, put your chalk paint on, 1 or 2 coats is great. Doesn't matter, all depends on how much you want on there. And then seal it, whether it is, you know, if you're gonna, let's say you put a little napkin in the middle and you have Mod Podge, make sure that you seal it with some type of sealer. And then that'll just be easier when you start putting either, you know, plastic plate on it and things like that. It'll make it so the chalk paint, because if I were to scratch this with my fingers or something like that, the chalk paint would come off. And I just want to make sure that when I put a sealer on it, then that gives it that barrier so it is more durable. So, okay, we're going to let this dry. We'll put this off to the side. Let's see. I got lots of things going on here today. So, here we go. Now, this one here I saw in Pinterest, and I love the idea of I love the pink, but I kind of like the boho idea of natural woods. And so this here, I got this is a 12-inch loop the hoop I got at, I think I got it at the thrift store. So I think I paid like a couple dollars for it. And these right now, they're very trendy. So you're just going to have to kind of, you know, you're going to have to keep looking to see where things are. Thankfully, I found like 6 of them. And so I bought them all and they're in my stash. So what you want to do first of all is, like I said, this is a 12-inch. You could do several different sizes. I've seen even two of these hoops in the same spot. But I want to make sure, I did pre-drilled it right now, but I want to make sure that I'm going to put it kind of a little bit middle, but a little bit back from the middle. And this is how I did it. This is kind of fun. So Fiskars has a drill, a hand drill. And so I just put it in here and I drill the hole just like that. I'm going to start it where I want it. There we go. Tap it off. Okay, so it's got a hole in it. I have a little bit of pre-drill right there because I want to make sure. Now I just for kicks and grins and make sure that it stays there, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on each side, just so that when I put it down on my spot there, I want to first of all make sure that it stays. Line it up so it's not wonky or anything, kitty wampus or whatever. Just make sure it stays down. And then, I know Jeff, you're watching, but I went to my garage. I did purposely put this off to the side just to let you know. I found a little screw and then I just kind of stole the drill. So go ahead, we're gonna flip that way. That's all I did. I found a screw in the garage, put it on there, and we're gonna cover it up, no big deal. There we go. So that is my base. I wanna make sure that I had a little bit of space in between because we're gonna do a little bit of kind of like a little bit of like a scene on the bottom here, and so I want to make sure that I have a little bit of extra space. So all it is, a hoop, put a screw right through the middle. We are ready. I want to keep this natural because I like the kind of like the boho look. Then what I'm going to do is, here is my ornaments. I'm going to open this up. I didn't get to open this up yet, so crack it open here. Just going to roll these out on the side. And like I said, I won't use all of these, but I just thought, you know what, we need to use a few of them. So here we go. Now, I found at the thrift store that I work at, Real Life Ministries, I found these cute little birds, and I think they were at Michael's or something like that. And they come, you clip them on your tree, and I thought, oh, they're super cute, but I don't want all of this on here, so I'm just gonna actually just rip that part off, because when I put these on here, I don't want this. I may use these little holly pieces, but I'm not sure yet. I kind of like it this way. So we are going to just, I know these are facing the same way, so I'm going to actually just kind of set them where I think I would like them to be. So what do you guys think? Is this going to be something that we'll see. Okay, so that is my kind of like my main area. What I want to do is, I need it to come alive because this right here is super boring. I get it. So what I did is, I have, and I'm sure you do too, I have pillows at my house that they're super old and they're just not that great. And this one here, you can see it's already open. Our dog Dusty decided to have a little snack and it's open. So I took the liberty of just popping a little bit of it open, and I am going to use some of this stuffing. I know it's kind of funny, but this is so much cheaper than buying some of the stuffing that you already have, and it's a dual purpose. You got your pillow, and now it's done. You can use something else. But I'm just gonna kind of fluff it around, and I'm going to make like a little snow scene. And I want to make sure that, there we go. See how much nicer? It gives it just a little bit of an extra pop. So let's do that. I'm going to put some of this around, and I want it kind of, my original intent is to have a kind of like a snow scene, and these this little happy bird couple is going to hang out, just hanging out in the snow. So what you want to do with this, I want to make sure that I don't burn my fingers, and if you go to the dollar store, these are your saving grace. Let me get them out here. These are little finger protectors, I guess you would say, and it's awesome. I love these. It has saved me so much. I remember when my mom got she got all her crafting stuff, and I didn't think that she had anything like this. I remember her burning her fingers, and it was like, oh, I don't know if I want to craft. So I love this idea of not having to worry about burning your fingers like that. So if you see what I'm doing, I'm just putting a bunch of glue just to make sure. I'm going to spread it out a little bit, kind of make my scene happen here. Push it down with this finger. I'm going to spread it out, I think, a little bit more down the side. I may add a little bit as we go down, you know, along with the project. We'll just see. There we go. You know me, I love my glue gun. It's amazing. This is the Gorilla glue gun. I got it at Walmart, 14 bucks. It has served me so well. I love it. It has 2 temperatures. I normally just keep it on low because I don't, it's hot enough to do floral and stick really well. So I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so there we go. I know it's elementary, but it works. I think it's going to bring that next little level of dreaminess that I'm looking for. Okay. All right, so there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I want this to be on here, but I know that it's not going to stick that well because here I have this ginormous, you know, lump here. So I'm going to take these off. I don't know how I'm going to use those. Give me an idea if you know what I should do to Good morning, Sharon. Let me know what I need to do to reuse these tops. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss. But this right here, I'll show you this tool. I got it a long time ago. It is a button back remover. I don't even know if that's a word or not. But it just pops off the little backs of buttons, and it works really well. So I'm going to take a few of these. We'll pop the tops off. And this works really well. Let me know, do you guys have one of these? I got it for crafting, making cards and things like that. And so, yeah, it works really well. Say, let me know. Okay, and while you're watching, I'm going to give you something to think about while we're doing this. I have a ribbon that I want to put on here, but I am not sure. Should I do sparkly gold, or should I make it a little boho-ish? This is the pink boho kind of, this is crushed velvet. Let me know which one. So think about that while I'm putting this together here, because I think I'm one of those where I like a little bit of everything. I'm not a matchy person. Let me know if you guys are. Are you matchy and you want it all to match every shade of pink the same, or do you like different shades of pink and it doesn't matter, just as long as it's in the same vicinity of. I know a lot of people have their own crafting different things and like that, and sometimes people are just, I only want it, you know, all to match, or it's okay if it's a little bit of a shade off or two. So, okay. So I may, I'm going to put these on. I may put a little bit of fluff in between to fill in the gaps. And I know this is going to look a little bit odd at the beginning, but hang in there with me. We are going to, and we're going to have to hold, this is one of those, we're going to have to be a little bit patient, because we don't want these things to start rolling down the hoop. So I'm going to have to hold on to them for a second or two. Let's see if it works better if I just put it on the ornament itself. Oh yeah, okay. So, and if you would like, I think, you know what, let's turn it this way. There we go. There's more surface. There we go. I think that if you put it on the hoop, it's gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna work a little bit better. And I'm gonna blow on it so it keeps, we want it to be cool enough, so like I said, you don't want to have these falling off. There we go. And I'm just gonna start coordinating in different ways. I don't want them all to be stuck. I'm trying to do this backwards, so hang in there with me. I want to make sure that you guys see this. There we go. That I want to make sure that you guys can see it more than me. I want to get the whole experience here. And it is going to be one-sided. This is not going to be a two-sided project. So, I mean, I guess you could see. I just want to make sure. Hold on. Let's make sure it doesn't fall off. You know me in projects. It's one of those. I want to make sure that I don't give this away and something falls apart later on. There we go. There we go. Let's put this on top. So let me know, is this something that you would add to your Christmas decor? Is this a project you're like, okay, I'm going to go find what I can, so that, hi Jennifer, it's good to see you're watching. There we go. So like I said, you can go ahead and put however many. You can do different sizes. You could put little minis. I do have, these are little wooden beads that I painted gold, and we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna just decide, say, let's make sure that this stays. I'm gonna decide, you know, does it look better with just the gold on there? There we go. Okay, we're gonna keep going, and I'm gonna put a little bit on here. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have a different way and you think that this would be a little bit easier. But I think at this point, the glue gun, you know, doing the glue gun and just being patient and letting it, the glue set up, I think that's the best way how to do it. Let's see. Look in there. I think I want the pink. I love the sparkles. I think the sparkles are amazing. There we go. No, let it sit up a little bit longer. So let me know while I'm finishing this up. There we go. Which ribbon do you think is best? Should I do gold, or should I do this crushed velvet and not have it super matchy? So let me know. And this is one of those where when I do this, I do it in triangles. So it is more pleasing to the eye to be able to do in threes. I don't know why that is, other than it's just, like I said, it's pleasing to the eye to be able to do your objects and things like that in groups of three. Oops, see, I gotta be patient. Hold on. And that is the reason why I just need to be patient. I'm a McDonald's person. I want it super quick. I want it done now. And like I said, this project I might have to wait a minute. Make sure it's set up. There we go. There. We'll see if it hangs out there for a little bit. Okay, awesome. Okay, so now I'm gonna see, I really do like the idea of putting a little bit of this pillow stuffing, giving it a little bit of dimension. I know it looks right now, but we're gonna just squish it up in little spots, and then I'm gonna tuck it in. I'm not gonna glue it in yet. I just wanna see where it's gonna land, and then, like I said, I just want to make sure that I've got a little bit of that fluff. There we go. And just kind of making it look a little bit dreamy. And like I said, we'll figure that out. I may decide, nope, I don't want it. That's why I'm not gonna glue it in exactly yet. Because this right here, we'll tuck it in. I'm going to use just a little craft stick. Just pop it in there. Give it a little bit of a foundation to sit in. So just like that, I'm going to poke up these little spots here. Okay, and then, because like I said, I like different levels of my project. You know, we always start from the foundation up, but just want to see how that looks. Okay, so here we go. I could go all the way around with these. I mean, I can put some on the side, but for time's sake, I'm just gonna make it look like that for right now. The next thing that I'm gonna do is, I would love to have some snowflakes. So I'm going to take, these are just snowflakes that I got at, like I said, a little thrift store. I think I got like 3 of these for 50 cents or something like that. And, you know, when you're doing projects like that, think of things in odd numbers. I just want to make sure that I have it pleasing to the eye, okay? So I'm going to do the boho thing. I want some jute here. And I'm going to just hang them from the top here. You can decide wherever you want to be able to hang these, or how you would like to hang them. I'm going to actually just take one piece here. I'll go around this way. There we go. I'm right in the middle. I'm going to make a bow from one strand here. And how I do that is I'm going to put my finger up, make a little bow, wrap around the top, and see that little hole there where my finger is? Put it through, and then pull. So there's my little bow. But I'm going to hang it just like that. Isn't that cute? Just gives it a little bit of a natural. And then I'm going to cut it a little bit long, and I'm going to make 3 of those. So I'll do it again for you. These here, thankfully, they're almost like double-sided, so you can't really go wrong on that. But, so I'm going to make a little loop. Look, wrong way. There we go. Hold on to this one. Make a loop over the top, right through that little hole where my finger is. and pull. Just like that. Decide where I want it to go. What length? Right about there. And one more. This would be a really super easy, fun craft for your kids. Being able to use some of your old or not used ornaments and different things like that. Grandkids, kindergarten, whatever, you know, any type of school project. There we go. And think about it not in just Christmas. You could do this for Valentine's Day, an anniversary, a shower. These would be super cute sitting on all the tables at a, you know, a birthday party, whatever. I think this is a great project to just not only at Christmas time. So, okay, I'm going to switch this around, and I'm actually going to just put a little dab of glue, so I want it to hang intentionally straight. So I'm just going to put a little piece of glue on there. Thankfully it is cooled off, or I can get my handy dandy finger guard there. There we go. Just making sure that it will just hang straight. Okay, this is so exciting. I love it. Okay, so now I have 3 of them. Like I said, I'm going to, right now, I want to make sure that when it stays, it hangs. See how it, let's see, let's move the thread. There we go. Okay, we're going to go back this way. This is the exciting part of making sure that it stays. There we go. I'm going to just knot it for right now. And then we'll kind of see, we'll see where it goes. And that's okay if they're not all straight. That's no big deal. They can kind of just do a little bit of a turn, kind of a turn kit. All right, so I'm just going to do that for right now. I know this is long. Let's get this out of the way. And you want them close enough so that they kind of hit each other, and that means that they'll you know, they'll kind of stay. I want this one to go up a little bit more. I think the middle I want to go up higher. There we go. I'm going to bring this one down a little bit. There we go. Isn't that cute? It's looking so awesome. Let's scoot it back a little bit so we can see. There we go. And then this one I haven't decided. I might even just put this on the front. We'll see. Okay, so let me know. Did we decide? Are we going to do the gold or the pink? I might have to decide on my own. What do you guys think? Okay. I think I've made up my mind. I think we're going to do this one. But let me know. There's still a few seconds out there to be able, I know the comments and things like that, they don't, good morning, Christina. The comments and things like that, they don't always come up right at the moment. So I get it when you're trying to decide right away. Okay, so let's start putting things together. We have our little birds here. We're going to put him or her down here. And like I said, this would be super cute to do with kids. You could pick your own. I mean, you could put Christmas trees, all sorts of stuff. I do have a few that I might put on in this tablescape. Just making sure that it stays. There we go. And like I said, I'm going to actually glue these two together because of the fluff, the snow fluff down here. It's not going to totally get stuck down to the bottom of it because it does have the fibers that are, you know, in the middle of it. So I want to make sure that it stays in that way. There we go. Okay, so then I also thought, you know what? They need to have a backdrop. They need to be able to have a little bit of extra scene going on here. So I'm just going to add some little sparkle. And like I said, I think I'm just going to actually cut this part off. I think I'm just going to leave that. Isn't that cute? Just to put a little bit up on the side here. Let's do that. You know how you're usually, you know, in lots of 3, this is 1, 2, and then 3. We'll see how that goes. I don't think I want that one. I think I just want to keep these going. There we go. So what do you guys think? Okay, so I have this. I got this at a thrift store. You can see it. This is just a bag of pine cones. And the cool thing is, look at, it's already done for me. There's already gold, there's already some white, things like that. I was like, woohoo, that's awesome. I will pick them up. I know that, you know, it's kind of ridiculous to pay for pine cones, but if they're already ready for you, why not? So let me look in here. I haven't even opened this up yet. Let's see what we can find in here to do some pretty. There we go. Okay, so this right here, cute little pine cone. What I'm going to do with it, remember we were on the pink theme. 2022, one of the hot colors of Christmas is pink. So I'm going to take my Waverly, the ballet slippers again, and I'm going to move this off to the side because we don't want to get paint on that. So let's scoot this over. And all I'm going to do is I'm taking the chalk paint, putting a little bit on my brush, and I just want, I'm going to go backwards. I just want my pine cone just to have a little pink on each of the little, you don't want to call them leaves, but each of the little pieces here. Put in the comments, what would you call it? So, and thankfully it's already got a piece of wire on it. You could also, I think it'd be really cute to put some glitter on it. We're gonna do that, and let me dry this so that I don't get it on my project. Just take your heat gun, whatever you got, hair dryer, heat gun, just make sure that it's dry. Ooh, it smells like pine, how cool. Or it's almost like cinnamon. Somebody put these on and they were cinnamon. So now that I'm heating up the pine cone, it smells like Christmas. That's even better. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to actually take some of this wire off. I don't want that much. There we go. So I'm just going to start putting these little pine cones in different spots. I don't know if I want this flower. We're going to see. We might not even use that. But I will, in a few seconds, I will glue these down. But I kind of just want to see what would be a good scene for these cute little birds. And like that, these are just little ornaments that you can snap on, clip on your Christmas tree. And I just took off the clips on the bottom so that you don't see the clips. So just like that. How easy is that? I think that's awesome. And I mean, you can do this any color you would like. So let me make sure that it's not all wet. There we go. So let me know, have you ever done this to pine cones before? It's kind of one of those. I know my mom loves to collect pine cones, and I have a bunch in my house that I brought over from the west side of Washington, and I just don't have the heart to get rid of them. And I think this is going to be a good way that I can use them in my decorating and not feel bad, and I'll keep them longer, I think. Okay, so let's I'm going to do 2 of those in pink, and then I'll do the rest in other colors. So here we go. We've got a couple here. I think I want one to go right up here. There we go. And like I said, we're going to have to glue, well, do some heat gun and glue those. Let's put a little bit of gold in there, I think. Let's get a cute little one that's, ooh, this one's really pretty. Look at this one. This one's totally all gold. Some of this wire off here. And so you're just kind of building it from the foundation up, building a scene. There we go. So I'm going to put one more over here. Let's get the white in there over on this side. Just like that. Okay, perfect. See how this is coming together? I think this, I mean, you can do so many different layers of different, you know, you could put more of the sparkly ball, the ornaments. You can add that to the bottom here. Let's make sure that these stay. I don't want them to fall over. That would be a tragedy. Let's make sure that this has some glue on it. Just tuck it right in there. There we go. And like I said, you're going to be looking from the front and looking at different angles and whatnot. I'm kind of only doing it from one way, so I probably should look around here, twirl this. There we go. And like I said, just hold it there. Let's see. Let's do the gold one. Put that right down there. Scoot it back here. Let me know if you guys can't see it. I'm kind of, you know me, I get into my projects and I'm not looking for lighting, and I'm not making sure it's on screen. So do kind of keep me accountable here. I'm gonna put that one on the end. There we go. I don't want to glue my bird's tail down to the pine cone. But let's look and see. With this different layers, or would this look all right? You can see that layer there. Yep. And you can keep going. The sky is the limit on these. I think that it's up to you what you want to incorporate in your snow scene. It might be too sparkly right there, but I think that would be okay. There. And just kind of deciding where you want to put each of these elements. There we go. So let me know, is this something that you're like, okay, it's too much or it's not enough? A little bit of sparkle here and there. Let's finish this off. I'm going to make a bow, and I'm going to actually set this off to the side because I want to show you a new, or maybe new to you, way how to tie a bow. I know that there's the traditional, well, I'm just kind of cleaning up as we go. I'm a clean up as we go crafter. I know that the traditional floral bow and things like that, it's a little bit difficult, and I want to make crafting for you as easy as possible. So I'm going to show you a bow that I use quite often. I just take a piece of the bow, hold on here, the ribbon, and I'm just going to cut it in a dovetail. And all you do is just fold it in half, and see how I've cut at an angle. And then I'm just going to trim this one up. This one looks a little bit off. So just see how it's just in the little diagonal, and then it opens up, and that's the dovetail. And I like that. It just gives it one more little extra element to your bow. So I'm going to set that down just like that. Then I'm going to take and cut this off so it's straight. And so what you're going to do on this is, I just want a few loops in a bow. So I'm going to fold it over just like that. So I have, you know, maybe 3 inches or so. Then I'm going to pull it up just like this, so that it overlaps a little bit of the beginning piece right there. Just like that. And then I'm going to twist it, and then it's going to go right back up on top of itself. Just like that. So now I have 2 loops. And then I'm going to twist it, and then it's going to go right back up on top of itself. Just like that. So I'm going to cut this off right at the middle, just like that. So when we have a bow that we want a couple different layers and things like that, I just squish it together just like that. We have the 4 little things there, and I'm going to lay it right on top of this piece here. Just like that. So now when I have, let me get a piece of wire here. Actually, I'm going to do it with string. I think this will be really pretty. It'll finish it off. So I'm just going to take the jute, and we're just going to wrap it several times around the middle. And I do have about, probably 4 or 5 inches on the end there. You can always cut things off. I know I try and conserve on some of that stuff, but this jute right here, just go ahead and feel free to go around a few different times. There we go. So now we have a little bit of jute around the middle, and I'm just going to tie a knot. If you don't have floral wire, this is a good alternative to having no floral wire. And like I said, it's much easier to do it this way. There we go. And it kind of just keeps going with the boho theme. So I'm just going to tie it in a knot. There we go. Now we get to do some fixing. Because this is wired ribbon, it's really easy to move around. And just go ahead and fluff and put the loops where you'd like them to be. And I only did 2 just because I don't want this too big of a ginormous bow on top of this, because I don't want it to look too top heavy. But just see how that is. We're going to do that. Make sure your bow is just the way you like it. All right, so here we go. I could go up here, but that's going to get rid of my, that's going to be too much for my snowflakes. So I'm actually going to take and move these out, and I'm going to put it on top so that the tails are going to go right down the side, just like this. See how that's back like that instead of down here? I'm going to put it right down the sides so that it's not covering up my snowflakes. So, and this is where you get to futz around with it a little bit, just deciding, do I want it closer up to the top? I think I like it actually up the top a little bit better. So we'll put a little bit of glue right there on the top. And if you want to, you could get, cover up the loop closure, or you could, leave it as part of your natural decor. But let's just hold that there for a second. I want to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. And there we go. And I'm going to move this up a little bit. That's why I did not glue these on yet, because I want to make sure where these little hanging snowflakes are going. There we go. And then I'm going to take, and just to cover up that middle, I'm going to add a little pine cone just to keep the theme going all the way around your project. Let's hold it there for a moment. Okay, now here's what you could do. You could add a little bit of the pine cones in here. I think I love that idea. I'm liking that it's going to be on the bow. And so in these little spots here, I'm just going to add another layer to this project. And that's the cool part about starting with the foundation first and kind of getting that idea of what you want going on in your project. So we started with the foundation and then kind of added a few layers. And these are what I call the little embellishments. These are what's going to give your project that extra either little sparkle or that little touch that doesn't look like it's, made from, made in China kind of thing, where it's just a production kind of. I think that being able to add those little bit of elements and things like that will give your projects just a little bit more homemade goodness. So I'm going to hold this here for a second, because this one, I have a feeling it could go down to the ground. There we go. All right, and so this one here, I think I'm going to just tuck this up a little bit more. We want to make sure that that stays on. I'm going to actually, let's put a little of glue on there, just to make sure it stays. There, good. Like I said, I usually, when I'm done with live, I go and button around and move a little bit of things everywhere. You know how that goes. It's when I keep moving things around and just perfecting what I want the end result to look like. And that's the cool thing about crafting. You get to decide. A lot of times people have the exact same elements, but either, I did a lot of card classes and things like that. It was super fun because people, although they had the same supplies, oops, see right there, I think that would be awesome right there. It always turned out different. And that's the cool part of having your own. Let's see, let's put that, oh, look here. Let's put that one right there. There we go. We're going to let that sit for just a second. But that's the cool part about having these projects like this. You could use the exact same supplies that I have, and it would turn out different, which I love. So, all right, if you have any questions about what I've done today, either through the plate that we did that's going to be matching. I actually am going to use a little clear plate, and whoopsie, I got it, wait, hold on. Let's make sure that it stays. There we go. Whether you're matchy things like this, I will be putting some pine cones on a clear plate, and you could even use this as a candle holder with your stand. I mean, you could even put a little bit of fluff, and you know, like I said, the sky's the limit. You could start putting little trees and whatnot, but just be creative, and that's the cool part about crafting and being on this my favorite. Thank you so much for watching this video. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. If you like anything that you see and you want to buy it, I do have an Etsy shop, Jane Nicole Designs. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.